Book with AI. AI is all the rage right now, and that is the question. Should you be writing an entire book with AI? So the quick answer is no. An AI book is going to be generic. It's not going to have your personal touch to it. It doesn't know your personal stories versus the way you shouldn't write a book with AI. So the way you shouldn't do it is just type in a topic and say, write a book, an outline about how to rent a vacation home, how to have a profitable business on Airbnb. You shouldn't do that because it's just going to give you generic stuff and nobody knows what's inside your head. But what you should do is use it as an idea factory and to get started. So here are some tips that I'm going to give you. Number one, if you have content that you've already created, any content that you've created on the topic that you want to talk about already, then put that into ChatGPT if you're going to use that. I also like Claude for writing. We used a lot of Claude lately on a book that we were working on. Notebook LM is also great for creating long form content. So those are the three I would recommend using. We'll focus on ChatGPT today because that's the mainstream one. It's the Google of AI. So if you have anything that you've already written, we want to repurpose that content and use it in the AI engine, in their brain, in AI's brain, to help get content and put it into a book form. So put anything you have in there, videos, blog posts, articles, anything short form that you have, long form that you have, put it in there. Then you're going to ask AI to be an expert book copywriter, right? And ghostwriter. So then you want it to create that outline. Give me an outline for my book. And even while you're doing that, also ask it to create your target audience. Who should I be writing this book for that would benefit most? Keep that in mind as you're writing the outline for the book. Now, another expert tip is don't just say, oh, this outline is great, or edit the outline and then put it back in there and say, now write the whole book, because it's going to be trash. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be trash. And AI gets tired. Believe it or not, it gets lazy. The longer you use it on a project, the lazier it gets. So you want to write each chapter individually would be my expert advice to you. So then take that chapter and then tweak it, tell it what you thought was right, what you thought was wrong, and then incorporate your personal stories to it. Because a lot of times it may not include your personal stories, even if you've uploaded some of that content. So in each chapter, you want to have at least one, I recommend 2 to 3 personal stories in there. Now, you may say, I don't have a lot of personal stories, so it's okay to substitute some personal stories for stories of somebody famous, stories of somebody that you've worked with, right? It could be an example of Tony Robbins. You could use a story of Tony Robbins that illustrates a point. It could be a sports figure, a celebrity, somebody that illustrates the point of what you're trying to make in that story. So let them know that you want to incorporate stories into this that illustrate the point. Now you have to be careful because AI hallucinates and it makes things up. So you're going to get stories. We were experimenting so we could bring the best to you. So we were experimenting and it was just making up authors, just random people that didn't exist and books that didn't exist. So you have to be careful and make sure you go back and edit these things when you do it. Like I said, do one chapter at a time because we experimented where we said, okay, you did a great job on these first 2 chapters. Now do the next 3 chapters just like that. They weren't just like that. They got to be less and less content. Each chapter got skinnier and less elaborate and didn't follow the rules that we were saying it wanted it to do. So I would do that. Then let's say you're using ChatGPT for all this. Take a chapter and put it into Claude. And then ask Claude, is this the best written? Write this as a ghostwriter. Do you think this is written well? What would you change? What would make it better? So then you're getting like a second opinion. It's like having another editor. So that's my advice about doing that. So we want to make sure that you're using these tools and know how to use them. There's another favorite one of mine called Chat Hub. If you want to really blow your mind, use Chat Hub and have all 6 at one time writing your book. It can be a little confusing, but I think it's almost too much information, but you could do 2 or 3 if you want, if you don't want to have all 6. So you could do maybe 2, 3, or 4 and see what you come up with, and then get the best of that is what I would recommend when you're working on a book. So I want you to go slow to go fast. I usually say it's the 10-80-10 rule, but really when you're making a book, it's more like a 20-60-20 rule, meaning you've got to put 20% in to give AI a really great prompt of what you want and how you want them to act and to write your book. And then you also want to give them as much information and context as you can upload as possible so the book sounds like you. If you don't have any content, then record some content, have somebody interview you, or just talk like I am right into the camera. And so it gets an idea of what your cadence is, your tone of voice, and who you are, all right? And then it's going to do 60% of the work that it's going to spit out an outline for you. It's going to spit out some chapters for you. But then it really takes a good another 20% plus to edit this and make it a beautiful, really wonderful book, high quality book. Because that's what we like to publish. We like to publish high quality content books. We don't want to just throw something out there, right? And we're going to tell you if it's not good, we're going to tell you, hey, you really should get this edited, or we'll supply an editor for you. So it's good to do that. Then the other thing you should do when you're writing these books, any book, whether you're using AI or not, is make sure you do beta readers. So once you have the book done, send it out to a few people that are your ideal audience and then get their input on the book. We don't want them editing the book saying, oh, you missed a comma here and that sort of thing. We really want to know, does this make sense to you? Did the context of the book go home to you and hit you at home? Did I give you enough detail? Did you understand the concepts? That's the type of thing that you want from a beta reader. And I always say, don't have your mom do it, or a brother or sister or somebody, because they might not really want to tell you the truth. And they might not be your ideal reader, right? So you want to make sure that you have an ideal reader that's going to be your beta reader to do this book. So that's some of the things that we want to talk about. Let's see. Oh, the other thing that's going to happen when you write a book, especially a nonfiction book, you're now going to be known as a thought leader. If you've always wanted to be a thought leader, then this is your time to write a book, and it gives you so much credibility that you're now going to be considered a thought leader in that space. Matter of fact, I was a TEDx speaker. I had written a book, and because I was a publisher, they now wanted me to be a TEDx speaker, which I was. And now this year they've asked me to come back to be the MC of the TEDx. So I'm really honored to do that because I have established myself by writing so many books and becoming a Wall Street Journal bestselling author that I have credibility, and I'm known as a thought leader in my space and an expert in my space at what I do. So that's why I recommend that you write a book, take content that you have. If you want to be a speaker, a coach, if you're selling even insurance, the best way to get across to people and have people know, like you, and trust you is write a book. They say the two most trustworthy people are not lawyers, are doctors and authors. So if you want to become that trustworthy and be known as having all that credibility, then I encourage you to write a book. If you need help with getting the prompts, we have really custom prompts that we use to help you. If you want to work with us, we'll walk you through the AI part of it to get you launched and write your thought leadership book. If you want to work with us to get your book published and marketed, we do all of that too. So reach out to us at eliteonlinepublishing.com. I'm Melanie Johnson. I'm one of the owners and founders, and we've been in business for over 10 years, making all of our authors bestsellers. We'll see you next time. Keep writing, everybody.